Okay, how's it going? Didn't really know how to do this, but I wanted to just show some of the layout changes I made in Piranesi from source to CS2. I wanted to just, have both games open, just kind of walk through area by area, my thought process, kind of what I did, what I changed, what I added, what I removed, all that stuff. So I'm just going to start off in CT spawn here. Uh, this is the source version, so I based my map mainly on both versions, but geometry-wise, based off this version, the source version. So we have some military vehicles, a little ticket window, and just kind of like a parking kind of courtyard area with a building and stuff, and the welcome to Villa Piranesi, and some ticket information, and museum hours. So in CS2, I remade the sign, expanded the CT spawn area out of bounds a little bit that way, add some buildings, kind of brought this building all the way around here, kept the museum hours sign, remade it, made the ticket window more I guess 3D. You can actually see inside a little bit. And yeah, so now you can walk through here. I'll go back to source. So this area I kept mostly the same. There's a lot of random, you'll see in the source version, a lot of just randomly scattered boxes that they don't really add anything to gameplay. They're just like weird angles you can be at. So you'll see me remove a lot of these or replace them with different cover as we go through. So here I kind of push this corner back to try and make it a little more open and remove stuff like this. But I wanted to keep like some stuff like this wall and this ticket office. So you'll see in the CS2 version, it's now gone. You got some the curved step that go all the way around, a railing. This area is now all open and stuff, so you can actually like play here. A lot of the boxes are removed and are now just streamlined pathways. A lot of the corners are no longer like weird like stuff you can stand on. We'll go to A site first. So this is going from CT to A, and there's always this entrance right here at in 1.6 in source, and it led you to this like pottery room right here, and some like furniture and tapestries and stuff. I felt this pathway was kind of redundant. Usually as a CT, you would have control kind of over this area of CT spawn. So, I mean, it really wouldn't help with the rotates because you can always just come over here and stuff, or come down. So, I felt this kind of wasn't necessary, and I kind of closed it off here, and just changed the pottery room to this furniture room now. So we're going back to A site. We have a very, very hard bomb site to balance here. So this is something I'm still actively working on, trying to get perfect, but there's a couple problems with this site. First off, as a CT and T, it's an extremely long angle. You don't really like that kind of stuff in CS. On top of that, you also have this angle, where T's can come out of for some reason. And then also, as a CT, you're kind of pretty much exposed to everything. You can like hide here maybe, but you're exposed from up there and all that stuff. So there's a big issue with the ramparts. The site itself has just scattered boxes and stuff like that. Over here is like I don't even know what that adds. And then like a lot of cubbies and stuff like this, and weird angles like this. So I try and cut this down as much as possible and give some balance to CTs in the CS2 version, so we can kind of see like this. So first off, this angle is completely like removed basically, so T's can actually kind of get out of the sight and onto the sight safely. Some of these corners, just because of the rampart styles, it's hard to completely remove, but toned it down mostly by bringing these angled walls out, making it a little more angled. So tucking here is still a thing you can do, but not as disgusting, I guess. Looking at the site, I decided to add this entire wall perimeter going around, making it look like a destroyed wall, kind of. Add some more natural cover, I guess, and basically protect from angles like there on the ramparts. The ramparts itself are pretty interesting. This was actually like an easy fix to do. So instead of T's being able to just kind of look down onto the site from up here, I just raised it up. So you can actually, you can kind of jump up and maybe spot something. But in order to actually, get on here, you have to get boosted. This might be removed in future versions. I'm still trying to figure out if this is too broken or not. But even if you can get up here, you still, as a CT, you can still hide. You can tuck here, and you can be safe from like everything. So because of this, because as a CT you can just tuck here and you can't get peeked from anywhere, in order to prevent CTs from holding, like this the entire time, because they don't have to worry about the windows, I added this little scaffolding right here, so you can actually just jump up. Two people can jump up actually and just, crouch boost through the window. And so that way you can kind of clear that a little better. Make it a little easier for T's. Also to prevent, if we go back to the source version, CTs had really good timing on this. They could get like over here and crouch down and stuff before T's could even, get here. So in order to kind of, prevent that from happening, and also in playtesting, it was kind of like that too. CTs have this wall that they have to walk around. Actually, this wall adds a couple more seconds to the timing, so that CTs can't get here quick enough to kind of have full control. They'd get punished if they got to here. Gives T's some more to work with over here when coming out. And there's some areas like this where this is now a little more shallow, not such a deep corner. You can obviously play like here or something like this, but it's not really giving you that much to work with. Same for stuff like this. So now if we go to the T side, I'm gonna actually just jump over to T spawn really quick. Used to spawn on like this weird dock, and I think maybe up here and stuff like that. So I wanted to keep the dock pretty much as is, but I wanted all the players to spawn in the same location. I didn't want to remove the dock spawn and put them up like, make them spawn over here or something. So I widened the dock a little bit, widened the staircase, added a couple more boats, expanded the T skybox a little bit, and now we have this the T courtyard. So there's a lot of changes that have been done here. I removed all these rocks and this big tree. As you can see, just replaced it with a wall and some more kind of bush foliage. this area in particular I found pretty interesting because it's pretty pointless. I mean, usually when you see a staircase, you want to go up it because it probably leads somewhere. But in this case, it's kind of just this area. It's mostly for like jumping in here and stuff like that, but I just found it a little weird that it was just for, you know, kind of jumping into this window. I thought, I kind of went in no clip a little bit and said, wow, the door's right here. What if I just open that? So if we go over here, I just open the door, and this leads right up to the upper ramparts. Really simplifying this area is kind of crucial to this making this map work, because the T-side pathways are really complex to navigate, and it's really hard for new players to kind of pick it up. And even now in CS2, it's still hard. So simplifying this is also removing this spiral staircase here, because now, since we made a new pathway to the ramparts using this door, we can actually block off this entire upper section, because we don't need any of this. This window we want to remove because it's a bad angle. This spiral staircase, we want to simplify that, all the T-side area. This window's completely pointless now, and this doorway is pointless. So with this door opening up in the CS2 version, we now have basically a bunch of bloat cut out of the map. So now, as a T, you have 3 places you can go. You can go mid, A, or B. And it gets a little more confusing inside, but not as confusing as it was in Source in 1.6. So if we enter this way in CS2, come to this lion statue, we're in the museum now. I decided to remove all these archways because they're weird to play around. It's much more cleaner to use some cover like this and to play kind of wall corners and clearing, especially in CS2. So this pathway is the same. This is now removed. These arches are removed, and this entrance to this room is kind of the same. So you have the some of the artwork of Piranesi kind of displayed on the walls here in kind of low quality. This is actual artwork, so I took some pictures from the Met, nice 2K quality, hung them up in these picture frames. So that's actually the same etching right there. So I hung these up around the museum, wrote little plaques on them, made it feel more like a museum with the marble and the wood trim. And now, once we're here, we go into this area. This area is pretty much the same. I actually moved some of the vases and the pottery and stuff over into this room. Add some more museum set pieces and stuff like that. Kept this staircase, removed this pillar once again. Kept this door that goes out to the B-side courtyard. Just like that. So now we're going to go to what I like to call mid-mid, because it's the middle part of mid. So before in Source, and I believe 1.6 also had this, there's just more boxes, just random boxes you can jump up, get weird angles and stuff like that. I decided, why not just make that part of the wall? So that's what I did. I just made it part of the wall, and you know, now it's much more simple cover to play around and stuff like that. I kept these windows because I kind of like them. Helps clearing the site, and you can get punished pretty easily. So now we're back here. This is kind of a pottery room. Like I said, I moved the pots over there. Now a furniture room in CS2. Pretty simple. This wall is now closed. And this archway is now here. I decided to keep get some tapestries also from the Met. So it's nice little, some tapestries got moved. All the physics furniture is kind of gone now. Kind of just cleaned out this area, nice carpet and stuff like that. And yes, I brought back. I took this this giraffe sculpture, shrunk him down, and made him bronze. So, yes, he's in the map. In case you were wondering. So this area is the same as source. Same entrance. And if we go over here, this is where pretty major changes start to happen. So in source you had this kind of window you can go to that gives you a weird kind of angle onto B, very dark, and this kind of vertical angle onto the arches, along with this as well. Here, and then a whole ramp that goes all the way down to this door. I feel like this is the most issue-filled area of the map. So it took a little thinking to try and come up with a more predictable and balanced kind of apartments upper kind of area. So in order to buff CT's advantage into courtyard, since they actually do not have anything besides, you know, holding this and peeking, I decided to add a window right here that looks out into the courtyard, so you can try and maybe snipe some people like that. So you have this kind of sniper's nest for CTs to play around, and it actually gives them a lot of view, and a lot of T's kind of an advantage also, because CTs have to look here, they have to look there, there, and there. So you can kind of choose your angles a little bit. Maybe you can play here and you're only exposed to 2 angles. Maybe you can play here, you can only exposed to 2 angles. And then there's also there that they can come on if they have A. So I opened this up just to add some more variety, give CTs better contention into this area. I think it's been working out pretty well. This is one of the most played spots on the map. So I also blocked off this window. The window is actually right here. So I blocked off this area. I kept this little upper portion because I kind of liked it for fast drop and surprise the T's and stuff like that. But I felt like it was too hard for T's to check this while they're peeking main. So to counter that, I put a little dynamic light using CS2's new features. So now it casts a shadow. So T's taking B can actually see if somebody's up here. And granted, you can tuck, but even if as soon as you start exposing yourself a little, your shadow gets seen. So going over here now, you got your little balcony on B, overlooks the site. So that's the same here, just a little bigger, more wide, same kind of extension out. And now the ramp down, instead of this, I made this kind of on the same level, kind of slopes down a little bit, added some nice maybe armor and some swords and stuff. And now it's a ladder instead of this ramp down. So you got your little ladder room you can drop down, you know, makes a little splashing sound. nice wood ladder you can climb up and down, some barrels, and then finally made this a squeaky door that you can break. B-site hasn't changed too much fundamentally. I extended these bushes all around the perimeter here, as you can see. Still trying to figure this out to prevent kind of people blending into the bushes, so made the bushes actually contrast a little bit. So you can see here, this is a lighter green. That's a darker green. Along with that, I also added a box here and some cover right here instead of these little barrels. So you got some wine and stuff like that, and you got a little corner you can maybe tuck behind and stuff like that. This corner is the same, but I kind of made it a little more or a little less deep, so you can't really, you can tuck here, but it's like not as deep to clear. I also want to add some little variety instead of just this little building. I added a little barn, you know, kind of made it myself, just a tiny little barn. Got some hay and stuff like that. And I actually made this wall, made a wall right here, so you can actually have another little space to tuck in and kind of peek out from one B-site. With the orrery, I kind of want to make it a little more, have a little more cover. So I kind of raised it up a little bit and kind of, you know, you can actually like play around it, maybe get into a little headshot and stuff like that. I also remade the model completely. Most of this is the same. In this area, you used to have this little gap here that you could kind of just fall down. I thought this was a little bit redundant and made pathing a little more complex than it really needed to be. So to solve that, I just kind of widened this staircase a little bit. Actually, I didn't widen it at all, huh? I widened this staircase. And then closed this off and just made it a single kind of ledge. You can still slide down. Made a little fountain. Stuff like that. So going on to the CT side of the ramparts, most of this stayed the same. This area is really confusing. You had this little room for no reason, kind of just dead end. You're just trapped in here. And then also this really shallow kind of peak that's very open onto the ramparts. So to counter this, I still wanted the CTs to be able to jump through here. Kind of like this version, but I also wanted this to be an entrance also. So I opened this up, but to prevent being able to see all the way back there to here, I put a little flagpole and where its base kind of perfectly obscures all the angles, so the longest angle you'll ever get is like here, which I think is not too terrible. Also, this is much more open, and yeah, less congested over here. So I already mentioned this was raised in this. Another thing that was changed is actually this part. So I actually brought this all the way over here and removed these rocks. Kind of makes it a little nicer, kind of more corners you can tuck in, less cramped and stuff like that. Kind of opens up over here, gives you new angles to attack over here. And yeah. That's pretty much all the changes. Kind of shows you that even if you think a map is unsalvageable, like the worst layout, if somebody's like, oh, this map sucks, it's the worst layout ever, you can recover it pretty well. Kind of took a unplayable map, made it playable, and still fun to play in community game modes like deathmatch and stuff, and now actually viable to play competitively as well. So I just thought I would kind of walk you through some of the changes I've made with this map so far, and yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry if I ranted a little bit. Didn't really have a good way of formally doing this, so you can find the workshop link in the description. Tell me if you like it. Give me any feedback you guys have, and really appreciate it. Alright, thanks everybody.